Hello and welcome to another episode of Sports and Songs podcast. This is season 5, episode number 35. Andy, this is the Songs edition. Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th. Happy 4th.
So, our songs episode, we like to do album reviews, of course, and we're going to do one.
Yeah.
We're going to do one tonight. Not surprising, but we're tying it into the 4th of July. We're going to do Def Leppard Pyromania. I think would seem fitting, right?
Yes.
We like Def Leppard here on the show. We like their older stuff, I think, better than their newer stuff.
We've had Def Legend, one of their cover bands, on before.
Def Legend, based in Texas, is a good, very good, probably the best tribute band of Def Leppard you can find.
And they come to Minnesota a couple, 3 times a year because the booking agent happens to be the same guy. So just because they're based from Texas, they do come up a few times a year.
They do some good stuff. A lot of rock and roll, good rock and roll, heavy metal music. So now this is Pyromania. I'll bring it up. Andy, this was released in 1983. So we were just pre-teens. I'm guessing teenagers, pre-teen era. Yes. I do remember this. I was not a fan when it first came out. I was not aware of Def Leppard that much until I think the year later is when I got into them and really liked this album. This is one of my favorite albums personally for Def Leppard. High and Dry, I like, but this is good. This is
High and Dry is really underrated, I think.
Very underrated, yes. And we did a review on that, and this is their 3rd studio album by English rock band Def Leppard, released January 1983 through Vertigo Records in the UK and through Mercury Records here in the US. This is the first album to feature guitarist Phil Collen, who replaced founding member Pete Willis. So, Andy, Pete Willis was the original founding member, did the guitar work for this album. It laid down all the rhythm guitar tracks for all the songs, but then was fired due to his alcohol abuse. They let him go. And
when you hear the band stories later, he's the one with the problem?
Yeah.
How bad was his problem? Holy cow.
There was the many problems here, but they got rid of him. Phil Collen came in, and Pyromania was produced by a favorite guy here in the music industry, Robert John Mutt Lange. And I think by listening to this totally makes sense. This is a Mutt Lange produced album. He did very good back in the early 80s. With anything he touched was very good. This album was a shift away from the band's traditional heavy metal roots, moves more toward a radio-friendly sound, and they found massive mainstream success. And I mean massive. This Pyromania charted at number 2 on the Billboard 200, number 4 on the Canadian album chart, and number 18 on the UK charts. Overall, Andy, this sold 10 million copies. It went diamond.
It did very well.
Diamond. Now, I didn't know. I didn't know that the change going from heavy metal to more soft. I know that their Hysteria was really the radio friendly, kind of the teeny bopper, bubblegum crowd, but I thought Pyromania was heavy. They were saying here, and this is just from Wikipedia, that this went really soft from their background, and so I guess I was shocked by that. I thought this was more of the heavier sound, but it was certified diamond. That's 10 million copies worldwide. Good stuff. So what they did now, Andy, I'd like to get your part of this. On the recording, they recorded the bass parts followed by guitars, and they were recorded to a click track provided by a drum machine, with the drums being added last in the process. This gave them the flexibility to re-record and rewrite parts of a song as they went along in the studio. The album was partially recorded with Pete Willis, who did all the rhythm guitar tracks. But in July of 82, he was fired, replaced by Phil Collen. Collen got to come in and got to contribute solo parts and the guitar parts not yet recorded by Willis. So really the fun stuff. He said himself, I had all the fun stuff, none of the heavy lifting, remembered Phil Collen. He said he gets in there and he goes, Pete Willis and Steve Clark had all these amazing guitar beds, and it was such a joy to whiz around and play solos over the top. Mutt Lange said to him, just have fun, be a lead guitarist, go nuts. And so he kind of had free reign, and I think that's what comes off in the release. It's good guitar work on this album. The album was seen as a transitional one between heavy metal and radio-friendly direction. It features the rockers such as Rock Rock Till You Drop, Stage Fright, and Die Hard the Hunter, as well as the top 40 hits Photograph, Rock of Ages, Foolin'. Now, Andy, the time they did this was MTV prime time.
Yes.
So once again, another album that got the jackpot of putting together some pretty good music videos and having them go with heavy rotation, and MTV got that whole other crowd following these guys.
That helped them. So I said their songs came out just at the right time. Their videos did awesome on MTV. It was hard rock, but not Judas Priest, Scorpions, Megadeth hard rock, So it kind of fit that mainstream. At that time for us, the KDWB crowd could hear some of the songs too once in a while.
Yes, and went really well in the U.S., selling 10 million in the U.S. Alone. Photograph, Rock of Ages, and Foolin' became top 40 singles on the Billboard 100. Photograph peaked at 13, Rock of Ages at 16. Now, I'm a fan of the other lower cuts. I'm sure we'll get into that.
Yeah, I wasn't so too. That the release songs I didn't really like so much. The rest of them I thought were really good.
The deep tracks are some really good things. So here it is. It says the critical reception. Pyromania received mostly positive reviews, being commonly considered, along with its follow-up Hysteria, one of the band's finest efforts to date, and one of Mutt Lange's best productions. Well, he was already doing very good things, but boy, in these early years, everything that he touched was turning to gold. And
a lot of stuff he did in the production room with these guys. He was starting on, and he really kind of carried it over to when he worked with like Shania Twain and some country artists. The whole how to perfect your sound. Not that you're not that good, I want to make you better, but let's get the best audio we can.
And so here's the personnel. I think we know this mainly, but for the newer listeners out there, Joe Elliott, lead vocals, very, very good. The guitars were done by Steve Clark, Phil Collin, Pete Willis. Rick Savage on bass, and Rick Allen on drums. And this was also good because Allen had both arms at this point. He didn't have the accident until the following year. But this is probably the best album altogether, top to bottom, for Def Leppard. It's the full band. It's everyone doing. It's not a lot of synthesizer work and things like that. A good group. Now here's the release. The album released the tracks: Rock Rock Till You Drop, very good. Photograph, very good. Stage.
And that's the one that blew up on MTV that made them right there. Photograph, that video.
That's very, very good.
It was number one for weeks on there.
A lot of these at the high school dances, still were played in heavy rotation. Stage Fright was the third song. Too Late for Love. I just listened to that one again today. One of my favorites is that one. 5 is Die Hard the Hunter. Very good. Next song, Foolin'. Heavy rotation, but also with a kind of a heavier sound. Then Rock of Ages. Coming Under Fire. That I also liked. What's your thoughts on that one?
That was a good one too, yep. Rock of Ages I got so sick of all the time. So you heard it every hour, it felt like.
Yeah, that one did get, when you talk about overplay, that would be it. And then there's a song called Action, Not Words. And Billy's Got a Gun. Now, I didn't know this, Andy, but in the last 56 seconds of that track, there's a hidden track called The March of the Wooden Zombies. I never knew what that was. I thought that was just part of that song, but after reading here, there is a space and it's a hidden track. It's kind of some synthesizer drum machine kind of music. It's pretty cool, I guess, but the title is The March of the Wooden Zombies. Did you know about that?
No, I didn't. I guess just playing the cassettes, I just kind of read the lyrics, and that was about it. Didn't get into it that much in 83, 84,
Interesting. Now, this one I have no problem believing. The album was ranked on, of course, Rolling Stone's 500 greatest albums of all time, the 40 best albums of the 80s, and number 52 on the list of 100 great metal albums of all time. and number 17 on the greatest 50 hair metal albums of all time. Now, was this hair metal? 82, 83?
I guess I'd throw more towards the wow. See, hair metal. When I hear hair metal, I'm thinking Bon Jovi, Poison, Winger, stuff like that.
Yeah, yep.
But then you got like I said, the Priest, the Scorpion, Iron Man metal. Then you also got kind of the Motley Crue rap metal too, which was kind of hair metal, but not really. Def Leppard was between rap, Motley Crue, and Poison, White Lion, Warrant,
White Snake.
They were somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I did. It's just a very, very good album. A lot of good work from Steve Clark here. He's the main writer on most of these songs. There's 10 songs on the album. The total length, Andy, 44 minutes, 57 seconds. There's no love ballads. There's no slow stuff. There's no instrumentals.
Well, Waiting for a Heartache is kind of a ballad.
Yes. But 10 songs, straight up 44 minutes. A couple of them get a little long, but the rest are your typical 4. This is a 4 minutes. Most of these songs are just straight up 4 minutes. Good stuff. And maybe that's a Mutt Lange thing. That's why maybe I like him for this. It's very clean to the point. And so they released in 1981 High and Dry, and then 87 was Hysteria. This was right in the middle. And so this is an album where here's the songs they released. The singles that were released was Photograph, came out in January, right after Christmas of 82. January 83, they released that. That got huge rotation, heavy airplay. Then June, Rock of Ages. Everyone loved that, almost too much. And then August was Foolin'. And then song release number 4 was Too Late for Love down in November at the end of the year. So, they got 4 releases over the course of the year. Great breakup there. And great split up. The studio they did was in Sussex, and then Battery in London. It's called glam. Andy, it says glam metal, hard rock, heavy metal. So I don't know. I agree with you. It's kind of in between those kinds of things.
Yeah, it's kind of
that
good old fashioned rock and roll.
And what they said was, here's what they did. They released this. They go on tour overseas, and they're getting all these people are showing up. It's selling out. But they just still think it's this average whatever album. The comment that I read is it was not until they got to the States and started going on to tour in the States, and they said, this is phenomenal. This thing just exploded. And I think the fans all knew that this was a great album. It really hit home when they started touring at home, is what the band said. When they got to the States and started coming to the concerts, the place went nuts. And so it's good stuff. So this was 83. I like it. Any thoughts on Pyromania? Do you like the album cover?
Good album. I think it got a little too much credit because it hit MTV at the right time. Got a lot of MTV love.
Lots of that.
So that helped sales. I still would have bought it, MTV or not. I still like the album, but it helped the girls buying it and other people get their 1 or 2 Def Leppard albums they bought.
It's good stuff. All right, that's all I've got for that.
Here's what I got here. Just a second. Okay, you got the holidays coming up here. You got some stuff going on. And just a second here. There we go. And just remember, 4th of July. Just because the song sounds patriotic, listen to the lyrics. Born in USA is not a pro-American song.
It may sound good. It may sound like the right thing to do, but
when the book looks pretty, read the pages in between. That's all I'm saying. Got some concert information here for you, some concert news, things coming up. Not a lot this weekend because of town festivals. So these are in the next few weeks afterwards, or a lot of things we're putting up. Full disclosure, if you saw the show earlier, yes, we said happy 4th of July. We're recording this on the 1st. So a lot of the images we're going to have for concerts are going to show the 3rd of July for some dates. Get over it. Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs are at the Fitzgerald Theater Friday, July 5th. Now, Dan, you're sitting there going, who the hell's Mike Campbell? Are you not?
Yes. I do not know.
Guitarist from Tom Petty's band, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. So
okay. And
that type of music.
Okay.
He had this one song I heard on Professor Rock this last week. Mike Campbell wrote the song and he brings in Tom Petty for they're about to do their album. Here's the song I got. I want you guys to hear it. Great song. Tom Petty goes, not so much. Producer says, I know another guy looking for an album, give it to him. The guy tweaked it. He wrote the song Boys of Summer by Don Henley.
Oh, Mike Campbell did. Really? Now that I did not know at all.
Petty didn't like it. Don Henley did it on his sophomore album, blew it up. So if you like Tom Petty type music, that's who we played for. There you go. Fitzgerald Theater this Friday.
Fitzgerald's a great venue. I've been there once, one time. It's in St. Paul, a great old historical venue.
Fireworks celebration, July 6th at St. Croix. Betty and the Noise. It's a free event. So if you're in the St. Croix area, there you go. The Mighty Mighty Hairball this week. The 4th are up in Fargo at the Red River Valley Fair. Humboldt, Iowa on the 6th, the 12th in Ohio, and McHenry, Illinois. Our friends in McHenry. They'll be there July 13th. The Mighty Mighty Hairball. Happy is back and healthy so far. So
always a good show. And the outdoor ones are phenomenal.
I've seen from some pictures, I think they've added some Rat songs to their playlist now. So I got the Stephen Piercy wig guy, had all the hair in the front of his face. So
I like it.
They've added some Rat. Got some birthdays. Huey Lewis, born on July 5th, 1950. So happy birthday to Huey Lewis. And speaking of Rat, Stephen Piercy, July 3rd, 1959 is his birth date. Happy birthday, man.
Stephen.
And happy birthday to the Sony Walkman.
Oh, my.
I think I had that exact same Walkman.
That is
I didn't get mine until 1984, but I think I had that same Walkman.
Okay.
So if that doesn't kind of ruin your day right there.
Take you back.
Nothing well. That's what I got, man. Short and sweet for the holiday. Got to get back out to the barbecue, you know.
Yes, it's Pyromania. Stay safe, everyone. We want everyone to come back from the weekend with all their fingers and toes. And stay safe lighting all your fires and things. But it should be good. Have a good weekend, everybody. That's Def Leppard, Pyromania 1983.
And leave in the comments below what you think. Was it hard rock? Was it heavy metal? Was it hair band? Was it just rock and roll? What do you consider Def Leppard?
Yeah, as they definitely altered and metamorphed into different things later, but This was some good stuff. All right, everybody, have a good week. We'll see you next time.
Yep.